I just came with this one here. You can see by the caption on the screen, it says, "Let me start by saying I didn't expect to have 5 children living in a low budget hotel." I want you to hear the ages of the children. And it seems like she might think that somebody else is the reason for her predicament. All I gotta say, not to be judgmental, we all come from different backgrounds, different experiences, but the delusion is real. So, without further ado, let's listen to what this lovely lady has to say. When people end up in a hotel, it's because of displacement, it's because of unfortunate circumstances. Okay, so let me kind of backtrack here. What she said prior um, about the kids. I'm going to backtrack just a little bit to this lady. What she's saying about the kids, what she did not expect. Okay, so there she is. I guess she doesn't expect to use no birth control. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. I guess you really didn't expect to use your birth control. And obviously you don't have that on lock. Did not expect to have 5 children living in a fucking low budget hotel. I just want to clear the air to let people know that when people end up in a hotel, it's because of displacement. It's because of unfortunate circumstances sometimes. Mainly. Really? Because of the way the government and the economy is, okay? That's the case for me. Let's get that clear. Let's get that Wait. Stop. We got to stop right there. So you have 5 children and you are living in a hotel. And what's the reason for this again? I just want to clear the air to let people know that when people end up in a hotel, it's because of displacement. It's because of unfortunate circumstances sometimes. Now that I get it. I get it. But when you got 5 kids in a hotel, that's the part I just can't rock with it. It's you. Because of the way the government and the economy is. So you got 5 kids in a hotel is because of the way the government and the economy is. Okay. Okay, that's the case for me. Let's get that clear. Let's get that out the way. And then secondly, all 5 of my children do not live in the hotel. One of my children lives with his active father that he's had in his life for a very long time. That's my first one. My eldest son lives with his father, okay? And just because I'm on the internet, showing how it looks in a hotel, I'll let you know. I have 5 children. One is 16, one is 12, one is 9, one is 3. Wow. And then we have this baby. Yeah, she just turned 2024. So, she just turned. Anyway, I see and notice a lot of people have a lot to say about how many children I have, my fertility, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're not thinking of the problems that that put me in the situation to fucking begin with. I want to do a story time on how I even ended up in a hotel because it is a long story. It is very long. It's about 5 years long. Because to be honest, if it wasn't for the slumlords and the bad landlords that I've had to deal with and the mismanagement, a lot of this stuff would have been prevented. It could have been prevented. Because first 5 years ago, I was living in a public housing. I guess you could say Section 8 housing, but it wasn't on Section 8. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but they have public housing, Section 8 housing that you can pay full price for. So that's what I was actually. I didn't have a Section 8 voucher at the time. This neighbor did not like me. She was a booster and she stole my fucking carpet cleaner. And then DSS got involved and then they took my children for 6 months. And then I had to move to another place. And when I moved to Spartanburg, another city outside of the city I was staying in, then I ended up with another bad landlord because the last landlord, when I was living in the public housing 5 years ago, she was bumping bussies with the lady that was calling the police on me, calling DSS on me and all. Okay, stop right there. I'm afraid this lady does not know what accountability looks like. What does a neighbor who stole your Bissell or carpet cleaner have to do with you losing your kids?
I can't. I'm getting a headache already. So let's try to. How old are the kids?
One is 9, one is 3.
Yeah, let's go over the kids. So 5 kids.
I'm on the internet, showing how it looks in a hotel. I'll let you know. I have 5 children. One is 16, one is 12, one is 9, one is 3. And then we have this baby.
Where's the partner, the baby maker? 16, 12, 9, 3, and she got one that's a little over, what was it, 17 months old? How old?
Yeah, she just turned 177 2000.
Okay, just turned 1.
24. So well, she just turned. Anyway, I see and notice a lot of people have a lot to say about how many children I have, my fertility. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're not thinking of the problems that lie that put me in the situation to fucking begin with. I want to do a story time on how I even ended up in a hotel.
Hold on. The problems that lie how you ended up in a hotel, the problems that lie that put you in a situation to begin with, I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe lack of birth control. That might be it. Because you're just kid collecting. I'm sure parenting is very difficult. How can you effectively parent when there's no stability? Even a hotel is not stable. They've seen people living in hotels paid up. Oh, everybody got to go. All these children, where are the men? And the one man that's stable in the, I guess, a 16-year-old's life, I guess he's not dealing with her. And yet you gave birth again, you have a 1-year-old. So the one who put you in this position is you. That's a big contributor all right there. When you grew up, when you had the 16-year-old, the 13-year-old, the 9-year-old, the 3-year-old, and now you pop up with a 1-year-old. So basically, you have carried the seed of a man that cannot even provide you with a place to lay your head. And you put your life on the line to give birth. It must be a magical hidden check somewhere, but something is still not hitting right. So you have a neighbor that stole something from you. About how many children I have, my fertility, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're not thinking of the problems that lie that put me in the situation to fucking begin with. I want to do a story time on how I even ended up in a hotel because it is a long story. It is very, very long. It's about 5 years long. Because to be honest, if it wasn't for the slumlords and the bad landlords that I've had to deal with and the mismanagement, a lot of this stuff would have been prevented. It could have been prevented. What does the landlord have to do with the fact that you have 5 children, though, in a hotel? I'm not getting it. Because first 5 years ago, I was living in a public housing. I guess you could say Section 8 housing, but it wasn't on Section 8. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but they have public housing, Section 8 housing that you can pay full price for. So that's what I didn't have a Section 8 voucher at the time. This neighbor did not like me. She was a booster and she stole my fucking carpet cleaner, and then DSS got involved, and then they took my children for 6 months, and DHS does not take your children because somebody stole your carpet cleaner. DHS does not get involved because that doesn't. I'm sorry. The storyline is just not. It's nonsensical to me. Maybe she's leaving out a whole nother part. DHS does not get involved because the neighbor stole your carpet cleaner. That is so illogical. It's nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. They get involved because someone's dropped a call on you. They get involved because they do an investigation and they must have seen something. They do interview you. They don't just come and snatch kids up, but you want people to think that someone stole your cleaner and DHS came housing, but it wasn't on Section 8. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but they have public housing, Section 8 housing that you can pay full price for. So that's what I didn't have a Section 8 voucher at the time. This neighbor did not like me. She was a booster and she stole my fucking carpet cleaner, and then DSS got involved, and then they took my children for 6 months, and then I had to move to another place. And when I moved to Spartanburg, another city outside of the city I was staying in, then I ended up with another bad landlord because the last landlord, when I was living in the public housing 5 years ago, she was bumping bussies with the lady that was calling the police on me, calling DSS on me and all. So now you have another, I'm assuming at that point, you have another DHS case. And this is a whole nother landlord, a totally different property. Something is not checking. Something, the math is just not mathing. I'm afraid, not to be sound rude, this lady strikes me as one that might be delusional, that she is not living in reality. And I've heard of people when DHS gets involved. I've seen some people that they're like, oh yeah, when things get hot, or it's like, hey, they're finding that, hey, there's a problem in the home. Some things that people may decide to do is to actually get up and move someplace else. Because I've had a friend of mine, his baby mother, did that. It was getting hot. Becky was like, "Oh, she not sent. Look up, just up and moved." Why? Because hey, they did an investigation. So the word was, hey, they're coming for the kids. So this right here, that's why I'm just not buying it. When somebody stole the cleaner, and then somebody, next thing you know, DHS comes and takes my children away. I'm just not buying it. And sometimes people like live their lives in a way that is nonsensical and can't see that, girl, the problem is you.
With another shitty lamp, but I just want to say that when I was living in that area with that shitty landlord and that fucked up neighbor who stole my carpet cleaner and called DSS on me and got my children taken away from me, yes, I was living in a 4-bedroom, okay? I had more than enough room and I only had 3 children at the time, okay? This is already getting too long, but if y'all want to hear a little bit more about my story time about how this bitch stole my carpet cleaner and got DSS in my life and ended up taking my children for 6 months.
You got your kids taken.
Girl, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not funny. It sounds like a Saturday Night Live skit where somebody is so delusional. Nobody's coming picking up some kids when they started out because they stole the carpet cleaner. No, They probably saw some abuse in that home, and then DHS made that visit. And that might explain why she went and then moved to a totally different address. And then you look up, DHS is there again. The delusion is real. I don't even know if she's buying what she's selling. And it's sad. Because you have to wonder, at some point, the truth is going to reveal itself. Reality is. And I wonder, how will she process that? But it sounds like there's an excuse for everything that's happened, and it's someone else's responsibility but you. When you had 3 kids, maybe you should have stopped right there, but then you don't popped up besides that 16-year-old, 11 or 12-year-old, 9-year-old, then you came with a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. How are you ever going to get it together to even think clearly unless you're getting paid to be a mother, to get on your feet? 5 kids in a hotel? That's gotta be driving a person crazy. The noise. What are they gonna run around in the hotel? This is ridiculous. But this just shows me that some people
who end up in a hotel, it's because of displacement. It's because of unfortunate circumstances sometimes.
It is displacement, and I think the unfortunate circumstances is the fact that you're just having children and not thinking. You're just having children. I don't even know if she even knows herself what she really wants out of life. So busy just taking care of kids. Where are the men? If she just got $200, let's just say, if she just got $200 a month, which is nothing per child, that would at least give her $1,000 so she could afford something. So it lets me know she must be getting pregnant by the low vibrational lint pocket Larry dust bucket. Or maybe they all handed her a little something, but even if it's $200 a month per kid for 5 kids, that's at least $1,000. So you can afford something. And again, that's nothing. It is sad when you become your own enemy. And just my opinion, I don't even think she realizes it. And you have kids, 5. So actually it's 4 because the 16-year-old, his dad came and got him. Wow.
Mainly because of the way the government and the economy is, okay? That's the case for me.
Okay, we know the economy is bad, but it's. I'm trying to understand. Do you not how she doesn't see how having 5 children may have led to your predicament because that's more money going out. That's more of your time having to raise two. You had three facing preteens. You had that 9-year-old, that what 11 and a 16-year-old, and then you come up with a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and you don't see how that's contributing to your situation. It's your decision making, and she's a mom. Let's hope the common sense gene that I feel she is lacking is not passed down. So for you, it's going to be the economy. Is that what's up?
I start by saying I did not expect to have 5 children. You fucking love. I just want to clear the air to let people know that when people end up in a hotel, it's because of displacement. It's because of unfortunate circumstances sometimes. Mainly because of the way the government and the economy is, okay? That's the case for me.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. We know that's the case for you. But you don't see how having 5 children by men or men that can't help you do anything is not a contributing factor? You don't see that? This lady, and I mean it in a respectful way, girl, it might be time for a psych consult on you. It really might be time for a psych consult. You don't see your part in it? The economy was bad in 2020. We're now in 2026, but yet now you have a 3-year-old child. So you had that child somewhere during that time, post pandemic or during the pandemic. You have a 1-year-old. The economy was bad in 2022, 23, 24, 25. Average people, a lot of people, all these layoffs been going on. And then you had another child. So we're gonna have to agree to disagree. I'm afraid this lady, I feel sorry for her in a way. You're not living in reality. One more time. This is the part that blows my mind with this.
Unfortunate circumstances sometimes, mainly because of the way the government and the economy is, okay? That's the case for me.
If that's what you want to believe. You didn't know how the economy was before, and yet you added 2 more to the camp. The delusion is real. Where is the man? We already know, unless he's deceased or locked up, my belief is he's not there because he doesn't care. And the sad thing is, when women do this to themselves, I don't think you care too much about yourself either. Or you would consistently, over and over and over again, put yourself in this position. So what do you all think? Do you think it's the economy and the way things are that lands a single mom with 5 kids in a hotel? Or those can be contributing factors? I totally concur. But let's not forget the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is a lack of birth control, lack of self-awareness, and a lack of planning. Those are also major contributing factors that we cannot negate and just pretend. This economy, when the economy was bad, you just had 3. You added 2 more. You added 2 more to the recipe. Wow. Where are the fathers of the children? And she's sitting in a vehicle right now. On this video, rather. A 1-year-old. I don't have time for the 5-year story. Let me guess. You probably got kicked off of, I wonder if you got kicked off the Section A. Let's see, once you lose your children, I learned that from someone. If you're in that program, and let's say if you lose your children, oh, guess what? If you are getting governmental assistance because you have the children, oh, you lost the kids, guess what? You can lose the housing. You can lose those benefits. The housing, the food stamp card you've got, you can lose all of that if you lose those kids. So what they're paying for a 4-bedroom, oh, you lost your kids? 6 months? Oh, that's enough time for them to cancel your voucher. They're not going to just be paying for you to stay up in there in a 3 or 4 bedroom place. It doesn't work like that. Anyone knows this lady, and I said in the spirit of love, I am not perfect, never said that, but it shows me the delusions of grandeur are so very real. I think this lady, and honestly, I think she's you're living in an alternate reality. Somebody stole the carpet cleaner, and then DHS took the kids. Girl, my brother-in-law used to work for the state. No. My best friend's mom is a social worker. No. Something happened within the home. That doesn't make sense in itself. The delusion is real. It is so very real. That's my take on it. Let me know what you all think about it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share, and I'm out. Dang.